Hi you guys. So today I'm going to teach beginner reformer. So what you're going to do is head over to your reformer and with control pulling your abdominals in and up. You're sitting at slightly a diagonal and lower yourself down. Make sure you have 4 springs on and a high foot bar. Your headpiece is up. From here, in one move, lower your head into the headrest and place your feet up on the foot bar, Pilates stance. Your big toes are slightly apart and your heels are together. The arms reach long by your sides. And 10 times you're extending the legs and bending the knees, drawing your abdominals in. So try to keep count and start to focus. 5 more. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw the carriage all the way in to change your foot position to your arches. The legs are nice and close together. Press out and in. Press it out and pull it in. So you're right on the arch of your foot, like a bird on a perch. Collarbones are wide and the arms reach long. 4 more. And 3, 2, last one. Bring the carriage back in. And then up to the heels. Again, the legs are together and press out and back in. If you need a little space between your legs, feel free to take the room that you need. Four more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the carriage all the way back in for your tendon stretch. Back to the ball of your feet. Lift the heels and extend the legs. Keep your abdominals drawn in. Collarbones wide, and the heels stretch all the way down under the foot bar and all the way back up. Lower the heels, keep the abdominals engaged. Lift, lift, lift. The whole entire time, lower and lift the heels. 6 more, and up. Full range of motion all the way down, all the way up. 4 more. And 3, 2, last one. Lift the heels, bend your knees, and bring the carriage in. So you might need to stand up to remove your foot bar. I can do it by using my feet. So once the foot bar is all the way down, or you can leave your foot bar in place if it's not in your way. Reach back for your straps, put your elbows down, bend your knees, lift your head. And as you extend the legs, extend the arms and pump for 10 full breaths. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. If it feels better to soften the knees and get some of the tension out of your thighs, or bring the legs to tabletop, even put your head down, you can do that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, and then bring both straps in one hand so you can sit up and take off 2 springs for circles and frogs. I need to add on the extension straps for mine. So I'm going to loop them through the wood handle and the leather. Some of you guys can just use your regular handles. You have a double loop, and you can use those for your feet. So once you have these hooked up, 2 springs, the headrest stays up. You sit down and lay down like you were before. Reach back for the straps, lifting them up in the air. You want to hold them away from your face and put them onto your feet. Once you get both on, extend the legs out long, and then you start your circles up, open, lower, and together. Heels stay together. You want to continuously feel a sense that you're zipping your abdominals in and up, open and around. And then do a few, just taking the edges off and turning it into nice, easy circles in the air. One more time, and then reverse, open, lift, close, press down. Open, lift, so no matter what position your legs are in, your pelvis remains neutral throughout, so you're not tucking or arching or squeezing your butt to make it happen. And then circles, just nice and smooth. Always remembering to pull your abdominals in and up. 2 more, 1 more, and then frogs. Extend your legs so they're out about 45 degrees. Bend the knees wider than your straps or the ropes on your reformer and press back out. Bend the knees. And this is where you do your reset on your abdominals. So you don't want to force the press out with your legs. You want to imagine your abdominals are pulling in and sending the carriage back. 5 more. 4. 3. 2. And 1. So you do about 8 to 10 of each one of those. Then you slide your feet out of the straps, lower them into the wall behind you, lift your foot bar up if it's down, and then you want to grab your sticky pad. So then you're sitting on your sticky pad. How far forward or back will be dependent upon where your foot bar is. So you go back to your 4 springs that you started with for your footwork, and then you're sitting down right at the middle of your reformer. Hold on to the front edge of the carriage where you're sitting and step your feet up onto the foot bar. Create a C curve with your spine, extend the legs, and bend the knees. Really work on drawing the abdominals in and up like you did laying down, but now in your round back position. After 5, we're going to add on. Press out. Lower the heels, lift your heels, and bend the knees. 4 more. Out, lower, lift, bend in. Out, lower, lift, bend in. 2 more. Last one. Bend your knees, come all the way in, and then you can put your feet down to take a spring off. And then depending upon how far forward or back or what kind of room you need, you're going to reach back for the shoulder blocks. You want to be able to get your arms straight. So if you're too far back, you might need to move your hips forward to straighten your arms. Step your feet up the way they were before, press the carriage out, and bend your knees in. So super straight arms, just to feel like they help you lift the spine. After 5, we add on, like we did with the round back, straight legs. Lower the heels, lift the heels, and then come in. Press out, lower, lift, and in. 3 more. And 2. And 1. When you bring the carriage back in, rest your feet again. You go down to 2 outside springs or just 2 springs. From here, you step your feet up in Pilates stance. The heels stay elevated and you reach your arms out, straightening the legs, and bend the knees and come back in. Keep the lift in your lower back and reach up. Again, press out and lift. Remember to keep pulling your abdominals in and up. After this next one, twist each side. Twist right and center. Twist left and center. Right and center and left. 1 more right. Last one left. Come all the way in and you can step off to the side. So it's nice if your foot bar can come just off or lower down to go into your short box series. 2 outside springs. You would lower the headpiece down flat. And for everybody on each reformer, it's going to be different. I have my shoulder blocks and pegs, so that's how I'm going to set up my short box between the shoulder blocks and the pegs. And I take my non-weighted bar or pole and I put it right in front. Make sure your box is in the center. So when you sit onto your sitting box or short box, your feet go underneath the strap. That's your safety strap. So your legs are apart. Flex your feet, press your legs up so that the heels aren't resting on anything. Give yourself a hug, relax your shoulders, put all that work into your abdominals and round back. and round up. Roll it back and up. I'm just going to switch my other arm on top. Sometimes it makes it feel just a little different, making small changes. Last one, so about 10 round back, and then use your hands to help you readjust on the box. Grab your non-weighted bar and reach it up to the ceiling, and do a small hinge back. Keep your legs active and sit back up. Hinge back and sit back up. So you might notice that I'm keeping the bar up over my head, but I'm not looking up to it. After the next one, row the boat. So it's a stretch, maybe your feet are resting on the frame. The bar comes down towards your ankles, so this might be why you want to get rid of your foot bar. Pull your stomach in, bring the bar up the body, and extend the arms to the ceiling. Do that again. Reach forward, abdominals in and up. As you bring the bar up, row the boat. One more time. Bring the bar up, extend the arms to the ceiling, and side bend to the right as if you're stretching the left arm straight up. Center, side bend to the left as if you're extending the right arm straight up. So it's not a very large range of motion. It's just a reach from the hip up through the hand on the left side and a reach from the hip up through the hand on the right side. One more to each side. And then you're going to keep the lift, keep your seat working, and twist only to the right. Centered. Twist only to the left. Center. Twist to the right. And center. And to the left. And center. So as long as you can see that you're staying very lifted in this position, you could add on, twist, lean back, make it very small, and come up. And center. Lift, twist left, lean back, and come up. You might notice that my head stays right between my arms and the bar stays directly up over my head. I'm not looking up to it. I'm not looking down to the floor. I want to turn my head and look at where I'm going. That's the last one. And then place the bar underneath your legs for tree. So you can readjust if necessary. So when you start your tree, you might not have tension on the strap, but you'll notice as you rock back, you will. So holding underneath your free leg, extend the leg to limber up and bend your knee. So keep the lift of your spine that you just got from your hinge with the bar. Now stretch your leg up after the third time. This is number 4. And you're going to flex your foot and point your foot 3 times. Last one. And then flex your foot. You want to make sure the right and the left hip are even, so you might need to adjust the right hip forward. Bring the leg up to your forehead to your leg, and lean back. So both feet are flexed. That's your safety foot under the safety strap. So you would look to that foot when you go backwards. When you sit up, you're going to look right out over your right foot, directly out over your right foot. Hinge back. You're looking down to the left foot. Make sure that it's doing the work that it needs to do. And then when you sit up, look straight out over your right foot. This is the third one. And come back up. So once you're comfortable with that, you can rock back. Keep your legs straight up to the ceiling. Flex your foot like it's pressing up on the ceiling as well. Pull your stomach in, and hand over hand, you climb down your leg. Your chest is going to lower a little bit. Your shoulders are even. Hand over hand, you climb back up that leg. Don't let it move. Plant your tree. Climb down, hand over hand. You go down towards the floor. Keep looking as if you're always trying to see your left foot. This is the last one. Climb your tree. And then sit all the way up. Slide your right foot underneath the strap. Readjust so your hips are as square as possible. And then hold under your free leg on your left side. Kick out, bend in. So if you find yourself leaning back to do this, sit up a little bit so the strap has some slack on it. On the next extension, keep your leg out straight. Stay there, lower the leg, sit up taller, and 3 times flex, and point 3, flex, point for 2, flex, point 1. Now flex. Again, if you need to adjust your hips so they're square, you can always bring your left hip forward. The left leg stays straight out in front of your hip, doesn't cross the midline, and you rock back. When you rock back, you look to the foot underneath the safety strap. Make sure you don't lose sight of that foot and pull your stomach in, flat. As you sit up, you're going to look beyond your left foot and lift your spine. Do that again. Round back, look down to your flexed foot on the right side, and then when you sit up, look past your left foot. On the next one, you're going to make sure your hips are square. Plant your tree and climb hand over hand down. And again, check in with your shoulders. Make sure one shoulder isn't twisted higher than the other. They're even. And then climb up your tree for a stretch. Do that again. Climb down, hand over hand, and climb back up. Always want to keep track of what's happening with that right foot underneath the strap. Climb all the way back up 3 times, up and down. When you sit up, you're going to get rid of the box and the bar. If you have a reformer where the foot bar lifts up out of the frame, now is when you would need to put that foot bar back into the frame so that it was out of the way for your short box series, and then it's back up for elephant. So you stay on the same 2 springs that you were on for circles and frogs, short box series, same thing for elephant. So the thumbs stay with the fingers, you press the heel of your hands down onto the foot bar, you step your far foot up onto the carriage with the heel against the shoulder blocks. Now think abdominals. As you lift your other foot up, you pull your abdominals in. So from here, spread your toes out, round your upper back, and push the carriage out, and pull it in for 3, 2, 1. Press out, and pull it in. Keep a sense of lift in the powerhouse. Press it out, pull it in. Press it out, and in. So you might notice my upper body's not moving, and I'm sharing the weight equally between my arms and my legs, so I'm not all the way back into my legs, and I'm not all the way forward on my arms. One more time. Now with control, keep pulling the ribs and waist to the ceiling and float your knees down to the mat. Shift your feet back to the shoulder blocks. I'm going to make an adjustment on my reformer to stay on 2 springs. Recreate that sense of elephant in a kneeling position for your knee stretch series. The heels are definitely pressing back into the shoulder blocks, the toes are tucked forward, and 10 times in your round back position, you're moving the carriage by just letting the legs swing out and in from the hips. 10 times here. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you go to a flat back. So you don't want to arch your back like cat and cow. You just want to flatten it. Look out straight ahead and you do 10 like that. 9. Your upper body should feel like it's in a solid plank. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, if you want the extra challenge for knees off, you go back into your elephant round back position. From there, you want to do it simultaneously. Hover the knees and start to move the carriage both at the same time. Here we go. Up with the knees and out and in. 10, 9, 8, 7. Last one, floating the knees down. So if you can't do 10 right away, you could always split it up into sections. If you're ready for that extra challenge, you can do 5, take a rest, and then do another 5. You ultimately want to move ahead to get to 20 knees off and the other two positions go away. For running, you would have all 4 springs back on, and then you'd lay back down just the way you started, but this time your feet are going to be parallel. The balls of the feet are on the foot bar, heels are high and lifted. Extend the legs, and then you're going to bend one knee and let the other heel take a stretch under the bar. Stretch it up, match the heels at the top, and stretch the right heel down, lift the left heel up. All the time keeping your abdominals drawn in and up. And switch. Up and switch. Up with the heels, switch. After this one, to each side, we're going to pick up the tempo so that you're doing a full 20 sets each side. So that was about 3 to each side. We'll say this is 15, 14, 14, 13, 15. So the energy is on me, lift up, like you're jumping on a trampoline. 2, 2, last one to each side. Up with the heels to finish, bend your knees and come in. For your pelvic lift, you open your feet as wide as the foot bar. On your arches, hover your hips up about 1 palm's width off the mat. I'm just putting my hands sideways and sliding in underneath me to check the height. Arms reach long, shoulders are back, and extend the legs. And even your head, you want to reach it through the shoulder blocks and feel like the shoulder blocks gently pull your shoulders down your back. And then bend the knees so they come out over your middle toe. Press back out, stretch. And even as you come in, you want to keep that sense of length through the spine. You do your pelvic lift between 5 to 10 times. And then lower your hips down. So that would traditionally be your beginner reformer. I gave my friend one extra exercise as a special stretch or treat, and that's your 3rd position front splits. So you go back into the same position that you were in previously for your knee stretches. So your hands are on the foot bar, your knees are down, and your feet are back against the shoulder blocks. You're going to step your right foot up next to your right hand on the foot bar. Now, if this is too high for you, you can put your pad, your sticky pad, on the frame. It would inhibit your knee from going any further forward, but it would be easier to take this position than having your foot higher. So you can make a decision as to what you want to do. You can always start lower, and as you get more depth at this, you would lift your foot up higher. So press the carriage out, pushing with both feet, and even with your hands, and then lift up nice and tall as you bring the carriage in. Collarbones are wide. Do that again, press out, stretch, and lengthen up. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Great. Second side. Step your right foot back and your left foot up. Get your lift first, and you might even find in this position starting, you want to stay here for a few moments and let your right hip open. So it's a 1-leg thigh stretch to the back essentially. So once you've finished getting your thigh stretch, you want to engage your hip and your glutes and press out. Don't go so far that you can't keep your hips square on this one. And then lift to come in. We're looking for a lot of pelvic stability. with abdominal support to strengthen the body, front, sides, and back in this beginner work. Eventually, we do take things into rotations and twists, and we do other things with the pelvis, but here we just want to learn some basic movements. Great. After 5 to the second side, the last thing that you need to do is to wipe off your reformer, set it up with your 4 springs again, and make sure that you're ready to have your handles when you lay back down on the reformer the next time, and you don't forget that they're not there when you go to grab them. So this way, they're there for you to grab them. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again on the reformer soon.